What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Nick, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make these Chicago dogs. If you've never seen how these are made, you guys are in for a real treat today. These are absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to start this video, so I'm going to shut up and let's get into the video. All right, so the first step that we are going to take today in making the Chicago dogs is I'm going to get some charcoal in my little basket, get my tumbleweed lit, and then I'm going to dump them in there when they're nice and hot. Since I'm only making 4 hot dogs today, I'm not going to be loading this thing up all the way to the top. It's not necessary at all. I'm just going to fill it up to about, say right there is good. Just enough coals to be able to get our grill nice and hot. So now I'm just going to find my tumbleweed. We're going to get that tumbleweed lit, and that's going to get our coals nice and hot. And there you go. That's all you got to do. Now we're just going to set this basket back down. We're going to let these coals get nice and hot. It's going to take about, I'd say, good 15 minutes or so. And then after that it's good and done, we'll get our dogs on. So now that we have this going, we're going to go inside and prepare our toppings. So now that our coals are started outside, we're back inside. We're going to prepare all of our toppings. And I'm just going to kind of explain to you the tradition behind the Chicago hot dog. So for something to be considered an actual Chicago style hot dog, it has to contain these ingredients. And the chances of you finding this in your grocery store are probably honestly zero, considering that this is kind of a Chicago thing and it's really only in like the suburbs in the Chicago area. And I just happen to be about like an hour, a little over an hour away from the city myself. So that being said, I was able to find all this stuff just in my Walmart. So they actually sell kits online that you could buy from like Amazon or something like that, where it has all this stuff in the Vienna brand, which is the brand that a lot of people use in Chicago. So I'll leave a link down in the description for that if you want to make these at home and you live farther away from Chicago than I do. So the first thing we're going to start with is sport peppers. These are little green chilies. They're nice and hot. It really pairs wonderfully on this hot dog. And so here we have mustard. This is another ingredient. I do believe Vienna sells their own mustard, which would probably be the more proper way to use it, but just I think any yellow mustard will do. So here we have our relish, and this is not any relish. This is the Chicago style relish, and this has like a really dark green bluish tint to it. And if you actually look right here on the side, it tells you everything that you need to build the Vienna Chicago style hot dog. Next up, we have our kosher dill spears, and these just go along the side of the hot dog on the bun, and it adds a really nice crunch and bite. Now we have our celery salt, and this just gets a nice little sprinkle on top over it. Now the next two things we have is a tomato and the sweet onion. So what I'm actually going to do is cut some wedges out of here and chop these up here just in a second. Now we have our hot dog buns, and as you notice, these are covered in poppy seeds, and you have to have this for it to be considered a Chicago style hot dog. Last but not least, we have our beef, and a Chicago dog is famous for the Vienna Franks, and they actually didn't have any of the normal Franks, like the bun length normal Franks. They just had the jumbo beef Franks, so I'm going to be using these today. So now that we know all the ingredients that we are going to be using today, let's chop up our tomato and then chop up our onion, get that ready, and then we'll go outside and get our dogs on the grill. All right, so I'm just gonna cut this top off so I can get the stem off, and then I'm going to lay it this way. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make some cuts like this, and we're basically just gonna be cutting these right down the center until we have our nice little wedges made. And each tomato could probably get you about 8. If you have a big tomato, you might be able to come across and get more in these cross section, but I think that for this video today, this one tomato is gonna be able to make our wedges. As you see here, I kind of suck, so I have some big ones and some small ones, but this is about what they would look like. So now that we have these prepared, let's go on to our onions. So I'm gonna cut that off, and then I'm gonna come right here and cut down the center. We'll set that off to the side because we only need probably one, and I'm just gonna peel this top layer off to get the little skin off. Now we're ready to cut. So the way that I like to do this, I like to make multiple incisions, but please be careful. Now I'm going to come along right here and make incisions down the side or the top or whatever you want to call this. My vocabulary is not too strong, if you guys haven't noticed. I'm lucky I made it out of school. I barely did. The end result, when you come this way, cut very finely, and you see now that we have tiny little onion pieces, and that's what we want. Now that we have our onion here, I'm just going to kind of come through one more time, because some of these are bigger, some of these are smaller. And we don't need these chopped super fine, but I would say right about here is good enough. Let's get this into a bowl, and then we'll go outside and throw our dogs on the grill. So our coals look pretty good to me. They're starting to get white and ashy, and you see that nice little glowing inferno thing that's happening down there. So that tells me that it's time to get these dumped out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these out, and I'm not trying to set up like a 2-zone or anything like that. I'm just going to kind of take and spread these down at the bottom. So I'm just going to take and kind of spread these out. And I'm just gonna take my dogs. I'm just gonna set them right over this grill right here. I'm just gonna leave these on an open flame. I'm just gonna roll them around with my fingers every few seconds here. Nothing fancy with hot dogs. These are already fully cooked. You could just eat them out of the package if you wanted to. We're just grilling these really just to get some nice marks on it, to give it some of that char flavor, and to heat these up to make them a hot dog rather than a cold dog. I just made that up. I don't know if that's... I don't know. Don't make fun of me, okay? I'm just trying to be funny in my videos so that way you guys laugh, and then you'll hit the subscribe button, then you'll like the video, then you'll share it with your friends, just like I ask you to do. So I'm just trying to be somewhat funny. So anyways, yeah, just roll these around every, minute or so, and just let each side get some of those grill marks. As you see, they're starting to kind of come on there really nicely, and you'll know when these are done because they'll really start to sweat out. So yeah, just roll these around and then we'll be done soon. All right, so these dogs are good and ready to come off the grill. I just want to show you what they look like. You got a nice little char action going on, as you see right here. You got some of these nice little grill marks. It's going to add in some of that nice char flavor. So these are nice and hot and ready to go. Let's get them inside. So I'm just going to take... and it's kind of hot, my fingers, but we'll figure it out. And there we go. So right here we have our poppy seed bun. I'm just gonna pop this bad boy open. So I'm gonna kind of press in right here a little bit because these are the jumbo dogs. And it's bigger than normal. I just want there to be enough room inside of here to fit everything. So we're just gonna take one of our dogs like this. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna take some of this yellow mustard, and I'm just gonna kind of drizzle it along just like that. Now I'm going to take some of these sweet onions and I'm just going to load them up along the side like this. Now we're just going to come in here and take some of this relish. Now we're just going to take and layer it along the same side that we do with our onion. Next up, we have our tomato wedges, and I don't know if you noticed, but I did kind of, after we were not filming, I sliced these down a little bit further. I wanted them to be a little bit smaller. I think this is probably about the same size that they would be in the shops. So let's go ahead and stick in our 2 tomato wedges. Next up, we have our dill spears, and I'm just gonna take one of these out, kind of tap it alongside a little bit, get some of those juices off, and then we're just gonna fit this wedge right along here next to our tomatoes. Now we're gonna open up these little chili peppers, and the actual way that you do it is you just use 2, but I mean, don't yell at me. I'm gonna do 3 because I really like the hot peppers. All right, last but not least, we have our celery salt, and you don't need to use a lot. I would just say sprinkle on a little dash like that. You might have not even seen it in the video. I just used a very tiny little bit, and then we're good. We have this fully assembled now and ready to go. I'm ready to dig in and take a bite. This thing looks huge. This is like a big mammoth, and there's even some spots that you could go to in the city where they even dump fries on top, and you just have this humongous thing. It's a pretty awesome experience. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a bite. I'm gonna make sure I get a little bit of everything in here, and I'm ready to go. Sorry. I forgot I was filming a video. You need to make this. If you don't make this within the next like 2 months of watching this video, you have problems in your life. At least make this one night, put some fries on top, eat it with fries. This is literally ridiculous. Okay, so the sport peppers, I think it would make the whole entire thing. I do not think that this hot dog would be anything without the sport peppers, because you have so many like earthy flavors in there. You have like the onion, you have the relish, you have the tomato, you have the pickle. All of it is like very, very like soft and vegetable-y type flavors. And then you just have the flavor of the beef and the bun. So you have that like that carbiness from the bread. Then you have that meatiness from the hot dog. But that sport pepper just comes in on top of it and just adds in that layer of heat that huge props to Chicago. This is an amazing dog. I'd really want to try foods from different cities and recreate them, because I think that there's just such a great tradition behind America and our great cities and the food that originated from there. And this literally is so good. But these sport peppers, when by themselves, they're like kind of not good. It's like really hot. That's really weird. Try it on the hot dog and then just take a bite by itself. It's actually really hot. But when you mix it in with everything, oh my gosh, this is so good. Like, how do you not even just... Wow. Okay. I know it's probably getting weird at this point. You're just watching some fat guy on YouTube eat a hot dog, but that's what you did today. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please make this recipe. If you can find this stuff in the store, find it in the store. If not, I'll leave a link in the description. All you gotta do is click it. It'll take you right to Amazon, and they sell packs where they ship all this stuff together, because that's how famous these are. They sell all the products together, boom. All you probably have to do is buy like a tomato and an onion. I don't think they're gonna ship you that. Make these at home, give them to your kids, have a huge cookout, make these for everybody. Trust me, everybody will be really happy. If you guys like this video or you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe. I'm posting a new video every Thursday. I hope you guys have a great day, night, or whatever time it is when you're watching this video. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.